pushing through this one. Doable, doable. Whew. Desert deer. Later, buddies. Rooks. Holy shit, there's rooks. Oh. Oh, finally. Cheers. What a view. Oh. Oh, that was fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Definitely.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Not too shabby for my first trip of the year. This trip began where it ended, at the 40 Mile Ridge Trailhead. If you have two-wheel drive, I'd recommend starting at the Jacob Hamlin Trailhead. The last little stretch of the 40 Mile Ridge Trailhead has deep sand, and 4x4 is recommended. And they're not joking either. I spent the night beforehand trying to help this group get unstuck from the sand in their two-wheel drive transport van. The only thing useful I ended up doing was giving them the phone number for the Escalante recovery and towing services. And luckily they made it out, but it made for a spicy night. The crack in the wall was an exciting and challenging feature. For me, after reviewing the trail, it seemed like it was the obvious decision to downclimb this. It took a little bit of getting used to. But once you break through that hurdle that you're going to get through, it really wasn't so bad. I'm 6'3", and without getting too specific, I wear a double X t-shirt and I'm a big guy. The only crack that I was really squeezing through was the last one. And then in terms of down climbing, I could just sit on the rocks and kind of stretch out, and I didn't really have to drop down too much either. And it might not be 100% necessary, but having this little bit of rope, about 20 feet, really helped just lower my bag beforehand and let me focus on staying safe as I down climbed. Here's me changing into my sandals probably a little bit too soon. The sand here is already pretty warm here in April. And tons of sand in my shoes. I was wearing gaiters as well. It didn't matter. So walking down this big dune, now I wouldn't prefer to climb out this way because it'd be pretty soul crushing. I'm not saying it can't be done, but at the end of a trip and you're going up that, just not recommended. The other thing is you're definitely going to want a nice pair of water shoes or sandals like bedrocks, or what are those called? Chacos? Around the main draws like the Jacob Hamlin Arch or Cliff Arch, there is competition for campsites. I personally found the whole place amazing, and I easily found spots where I was the only one camping. So do with that information what you will. So real quick, here's the route I did. I started at the 40-mile ridge trailhead right in the center, and I went counterclockwise, dropped in to the crack in the wall. You can see Stevens Arch there. I really love this area on the top right. And I hiked into the gulch. First night I camped near Cliff Arch, like a little bit beforehand. Second night I camped before the Coyote Natural Bridge. Super quiet and super beautiful night. And then day 3 I climbed out. On the left you can see Jacob Hamlin. And let's talk about that because that was interesting. Like many things, climbing is a spectrum. I am a total newbie. I was excited though for the challenge. So just going into it, I had a really good attitude. And I ended up getting a lot of good practice by setting up my camera and then having to down climb. If you're a beginner, it's going to be challenging. If you're terrified of heights, there is another route into the area via Hurricane Wash. I saw a lot of people using that trailhead. I saw a dad with a baby on his pack. That seems like a super chill way. Also, there is not always a rope. I could not have done this without a rope in place. I planned my exit on a Saturday, so I knew the likelihood was high. And if push came to shove, I could have exited Hurricane Wash, but it would have been a really long walk back. One tip I got from a guy who claimed he was a climbing teacher was you want to keep most of your weight on your feet, that your instinct is to keep your body close to the wall, but that will make you slip. So you can see here with the rope, this is about 45 degrees. And there were people, they weren't even using the rope. It was too easy for them. And then there were people struggling like me. So I had fun. I'm glad there was a rope. And again, you cannot count on a rope being there. I've met people down there and they were telling me they've had to climb it without a rope and it wasn't very fun. But don't let it stop you. Oh, and I almost forgot. The last kind of new challenge about backpacking in Coyote Gulch was you have to take wag bags and any poop you're supposed to pack out. So it's another challenge, but it wasn't a big deal. It's honestly kind of nice in a certain way. Just there's no mystery where you're going. Anyway, my trip down into Coyote Gulch went super smooth. I had such a good time. I'd recommend it to anyone who likes backpacking. It was like 10 and a half miles. I did it in 2 nights, like super casual. Just got to enjoy every single day. And coming from someone who loves the mountains, this was just awesome. It was a different element, but I had a blast. And like I said, it went so smooth, and I got sick right as I exited. That's why I sound kind of funny right now. I was stranded in Escalante for like 2 days, and I drove back home, and I'm still recovering. So thanks for bearing with me here on the outro. Thanks for watching. As always, I recommend everyone get out there and enjoy the outdoors. Always practice leave no trace, and I'll catch you in the next one.